Why, hello, and welcome to the latest edition of Talk of the Town. This is a podcast dedicated to everything your club, our town, your town, Exmouth Town Football Club. We are your media team. That kind of goes without saying. I'm Egg. Nathan is back from his latest holiday, his foreign trip. Was this a working holiday or was this for
No,
pleasure?
no, this was it was very much a holiday with my friends. So yeah, it was very fun. I'm quite tired, but I'm ready. Obviously, if there was a game today, if we had that street game just to as we're recording this, and I'd be there. So yeah, back ready for the season to start.
I don't think you'd pass any fitness tests. You do look a bit hungover. That's a bit rich coming from me, a man who cycled 1 mile on his bike this morning and is now in a lot of pain. Anyway, we should move on from that. Pre-season is in full swing. It does feel like pre-season has gone on for a lot longer than it actually has. But it's nice to be back playing football again. It's nice to be at the club. The club, I don't know if it's because we kind of get peeked behind the scenes, but it does have a different feel to it. The excitement and anticipation for the season kind of is there. I don't know if that's just me. Do you feel that as well, or?
Yeah, I mean probably the games speak to that a bit. We'll get onto that, but the games have been fun. There's been lots of goals, plenty of entertainment. We've stood up to two teams in higher leagues as well, so it feels like everyone is sort of pulling the right way. I mean, obviously, you can't really tell too much with results in pre-season, but it's definitely been positive, and obviously the fact that we've made plenty of signings as we spoke about in the last one, that that adds to it as well because before we didn't really make any, so it was sort of a lot of trialists that you sort of knew weren't gonna stay on. Whereas with this squad, it's most of the team that plays that they're here for the season, so it's definitely a lot more exciting than last season for sure.
Yeah, we'll move on to the games we played and everything because there's so much news. So we're going to chuck a lot of information at you. Most of it people will already know. Some of it you may have missed. So that's kind of the idea of this podcast. So, um, under 14s, we try and include all of the teams, not just the first team. Juniors under 14s have been accepted to play in the Junior Premier League for next season. Congratulations to those. We did put this out on socials, but go smash it, boys. Um, you're the future of the club. And good luck to all of the youth team guys, all of the youth players. We're going to try and cover you guys a little bit more in the season as well and get down to some of your games. But good luck to all you guys as well for the coming season as well. Go smash it, and hopefully we see you at some games, first team games throughout the season. There is a family fun day as well on the 18th of August. Elaine put this on socials yesterday. Tickets are available. From the top of my head, there's a bouncy castle, a barbecue, disco. Um, I'm guessing all the money kind of goes to the club as well. So go support that. Speaking of events, thank you to everybody that came to all of the Euros games. I know the final was rammed. I saw a post saying that the bar staff were rushed off their feet. So thank you to all the bar staff, all of the guys who run the clubhouse, Elaine, and all of you guys. And I'm obviously the Northern Ireland fan. I haven't checked what happened in the Euro. So from the bottom of my heart, I would just like to congratulate England on retaining the European Championship.
Very, very good, very good. It was heartbreak, but I mean, we didn't deserve it, so it was one of them.
I
I'm
do
sure.
feel like I do feel like the unofficial spokesman for anybody at the club who isn't an England fan. So
It was one of them ones. One of them ones. Maybe third time lucky.
it's all right though, because England's loss means that town will be more successful. That's the way this works. But thank you to all you guys. Everybody came down for the event as well. Saw the pictures and it looked absolutely rammed. Um, Maybe people will come down and join me next time when Northern Ireland make it to the Women's Euros. I think that's all of the news. Oh, the wall topping scheme is still available if people, businesses, your company, or even if you just want to do it yourself, they're still available. See Cookie, and he will sort you out. Talking to him at the TV game, I think everybody who was on it last season has renewed, and there's a lot more people who have also taken up that offer. So thank you to all those guys as well. Thank you to Thrifty as well from me and Nath from the bottom of our hearts for re-sponsoring the video and us, kind of, and all the media stuff. We can't do what we do without your support. So thank you from me and Nathan from the bottom of our hearts, because you've managed to elevate what we do and the club. So thank you for that. You got a
Yeah,
nod from you got a nod from Nathan
yeah.
for
No,
us.
thank, thank you. I mean, I say without the video, it's like half the stuff is not really possible in terms of getting the highlights out. So people that couldn't go to the games can actually now see the goals after it's happened. Obviously, aside from when it decided not to work for the Parkway thing, that but the rest of it has been, it's been incredible, and it's helped us with this channel that going out on the YouTube as well. So yeah, been huge.
And a little peek behind the curtain as well. The Dave, Hilly, and Rolo are now using it in training as well. Dave was very keen to get the highlights from the Tivy game for training on Thursday. So they are now using the footage more. They're showing the lads, I'm assuming, on a tablet or a laptop when they're training, like, you've not done this very well and stuff. So it is translating into being used on the pitch as well. The video didn't work for the Parkway game. We apologize. There was a technical error. It booted everybody off the system. We've now resolved that issue. So all the highlights and everything will now be coming out. Speaking of cutting edge technology, Nathan, you have some news, I suppose, is the way to put it.
Yeah. So obviously we're sort of looking at what we want to do next season, in regards to up in our game or up in my game, because obviously, this again behind the curtain sort of thing. This is sort of a two-way thing where, as much as we're here to help the football club, it's also, for us to get better, improve our craft, and explore different things and try things out. And we're very lucky to have that opportunity here. And so one thing that I've been wanting to do is sort of get back into broadcasting more. I do stuff for Devon Air and stuff. I've obviously done some presenting work before, obviously stuff like this as well. But going to be adding to that, we're hopefully going to be doing commentary for some of the games this season. It's not something that we're going to do every week, because I quite simply can't commit to doing every week, and potentially some of the midweek games won't be possible. But there will be an effort to do some of those longer distance trips. For example, we'll get into the fixtures, but Bashley away. So we're hoping to provide commentary. We're going to be trying it out for the Poole Town game on Friday 26th. And then hopefully from there, we'll see how it goes. It's most likely going to be on Twitter or X, and it's going to be on their spaces, just to start with, while we sort of get used to it and figure out the best way to run it. And then potentially there could be more scope to put it on other socials as well. But if you can't make a game, then this is hoping to give you that ability to know what's happening live, and you can react to it. You don't have to wait, for anything. If there's, bad signal or nothing, what it's like sometimes with Twitter, you can always get the tweet out as quick as you want. So you can still get that feeling that you're at the game from home if you can't make the journey. So really it's more for the away games, but we're hoping to provide it for the home games as well. And yeah, so it's just something, I'll warn you for the one Friday. I might not be very good at it to start with, but once I get into the swing of things, it has been a while since I've commentated. So we're looking to get back into the swing of that. And that's just another thing we're hoping to do, just to up the levels a bit more, and just keep pushing and keep pushing ourselves and keep pushing this club's forward.
Yeah, I think that there are clubs that have come to visit and have done it, and they've explained that it's incredibly successful for them. I know Hamworthy and Totten, and I think there's a couple of other teams we played last season as well do it. It's going to be trial and error. Then we're going to have to iron out a few kinks and stuff, but it's for you guys as well. Everything we do is kind of for you, the supporters, because without you guys, the club would be really boring, because you
Yes.
make the club, you make the community and everything we do. So it's kind of a three-way street, if that's a possible thing. Speaking of things for the supporters, membership has gone on sale. The club has worked hard over this in the last few months. It's to replace season tickets, the traditional season tickets. We're going to sit down with Stuart and some people on the board in the coming weeks and months. Preseason is incredibly busy, as I'm sure you all are very aware. So it's difficult with playing so many games for us to kind of get their time. So we're going to sit down with them and discuss it. We're not going to put words in their mouth. And there will be supporters will be given the option, not option is not the word I'm looking for, is it? The opportunity to ask questions of them. And we're going to do that kind of throughout the season as well. So, but Nathan, have you got the details for the membership? Because my phone has decided to die a little bit.
Yeah. So it's per month, so you can join up whenever you want. Obviously, to as we said, to feel the full benefit of it, really, you want to be joining now because one of the benefits to either, if you get this just a support membership or the gold membership, is that you will get free access to all pre-season games as well as the cup games, which is obviously I think probably the best part of that offer. It's £20 per month for the support membership, £35 per month for the gold membership. So just quickly, you can get entry into a monthly draw. These are the ones that are gonna for both. So if you get the support membership or the gold membership, you will get these benefits. So I'd say free entry to all the games. You've got a monthly draw, which will be on the last Friday of every month. £1, and every member will put £1 of their monthly fee goes into that, and then it's drawn out of everyone who is a member. So let's say you get 50 members, the prize will be £50, so on and so forth. You get a free lanyard, free membership card, which I know is always nice. You sort of go around, you got lanyard to show you are a part of it, almost a bit like a bit of a club. You get a discount rate if you are a support on the support membership. It's 12.5% on the coaches, which would make a £20 trip, £17.50. If you've got gold membership, it will be £15 flat fee. There's a free online program which is delivered by email, and say the total annual price is £200. So if you get the 10-month membership, that is. So that, I mean, again, a lot of benefits to that. If you run the gold membership, you get a discount rate of 10% of all alcoholic beverages, which I know probably will go down well with some fans. You can get free entry to free events during the season. So, I assume if there's any sort of paid talks with or evenings with, this is just me saying what potentially might happen. We've got no true, but they did the John Hartson thing, so you may be able to get into that, I guess. But again, it's there's so many events on at the club every week. It seems like there's someone there, so that's another great benefit. Food and drink provided for one game, so you can pick a game and you can sort of have like a hospitality experience, which is pretty good. You can get up to 2 children free entry, and you will have first access to the VIP lounge, which is estimated to be ready by October this year.
Yeah, there is different pricing as well. That was put out on different
Yeah,
posts and stuff.
30,
So
35 for gold, 20 for supporter.
there was also something for seen as well. I can't remember off the top of my head. There's been a lot of
Oh
information.
yes. There was a 20% discount on the supporter membership for OAPs. I'm pretty sure. So I think I cannot remember the exact price,
Yeah,
but there is a discount for. But if you email Exmouth Town info at exmouth-townfc.co.uk, they will explain full details. There is definitely a discount for OPs. We fully know that, but I just can't remember how much it is.
that's the only way of being able to do it as well. There's not a cash facility like it used to be where you could pay at the club. I'm sure if you are struggling with the technology side of it, speak to someone at the club and they'll help you, or speak to me and Nathan. We'll help you as much as we can.
Yeah.
With that. I've seen a lot of people walk around with their lanyards on already. I'm very jealous because me and Nathan don't get a lanyard. But no, thank you for anybody who's taken up that as well. It continues the club to improve. We've seen the players that have been brought in as well. So yeah, if you want to take of that, I can't speak today. If you want to take advantage of that, please do, because it's helping the club in countless ways. As we said, we're not going to put words in any of the directors' mouths. We should speak to those and get more information as we go along. I think that was everything off the pitch. Oh, player news. Jacob Mead has signed for Bradford Town. He was here, obviously, here towards the end of last season. I think he joined from Bradford, didn't he?
Yeah.
So good luck to Jacob. Thank you for everything you did towards the end of last season. Hopefully you have a great season at Bradford, mate, and good luck. If you're about for any of the games when we're up that sort of Wales local to you, don't be a stranger. Do come and say hi, and do come support the lads as well. Don't be a stranger. I think that's everything. There's no new signings. There are some guys that are on trial and people we know are been playing in games. When we have news from the various people who make these decisions, it will be on socials if there is news. We're not going to name names just because. So yeah, that's on that. I think that is everything, as I've said, off the pitch. That's non-football related. So all we have left is fixtures and the games we've played.
Yes.
let's do the fixtures because that's what we've all been waiting for. So fixtures came out yesterday. We start the season with Street at home in the FA Cup on the 3rd.
Yeah,
Wasn't mentioned in this. If you have a membership as well, all home cup games are included in that. So you've already got 2 home cup games. If we beat Street, we then face Brixham or Saltash in the round after that. I'm assuming we're in the extra preliminary, so we played them in the preliminary round.
yeah, yeah.
We've got
That's
Kidlington
at home as well.
at home as well. We've got Kidlington in the FA Trophy as well. I think that's all of the cups that have been drawn. Devon Bowl hasn't come out yet. Fixtures, we start with a home game against Thatcham.
Yeah, that
Thatcham,
will be. Yeah, newly
Thatcham,
promoted side. Sorry.
yep, Thatcham were they promoted, but they moved laterally from their league into ours.
I mean, they're promoted. They did appeal to be placed in the Central League, but didn't obviously wasn't successful. So it's going to be interesting with them because obviously if they've there's obviously a reason they've appealed it. So we'll have to see what sort of team they have for the team. They might be very, we've seen Bermerton Heath and these sort of teams that we're not so familiar with come up and be very good, especially at the start. I mean, we had that as well. We were second in the league for ages in our first season. So, that it's sort of an unknown quantity in the sense of how good or bad they'll be. So that would be interesting to start with them. But it's nice to start with a home game.
Yeah, we start with Thatcham, and then the midweek we face Bideford on Tuesday, August the 13th. Then it would be everything going well would be the FA Cup game if we get past Street. Then Saturday 24th, bank holiday weekend, we have Melksham at home, Yate away on the Monday.
Mhm.
Not going to get into the fact that Yate's not a local game, but we shall get past that. We then have Willand at home on the 14th. There is an FA Trophy game in between that. Tavistock on the 28th away, and Wednesday the 2nd of October is Cribs at home. All of this, the fixtures have been plastered all over social media. Um, Christmas, we have a lot of games as well, which is nice. New Year, Boxing Day, we have got Helston away. I am
Yeah.
taking auditions for people to appear in a Christmas single to the tune of Mariah Carey. All I Want for Christmas is Helston away. Please do slide into my DMs and I shall sort you out with that. What's your thoughts on the fixtures? I know Rolo and the guys on the team and the coaching staff are pretty pleased with them.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's hard to tell because you don't really know. So you will have to see how they, how we get on with the fixtures because it's these are the teams in our league. We're going to play them. I'm intrigued by the new teams. I'm obviously I don't think anyone's overjoyed that a lot of them are quite far away. So especially Helston on Boxing Day, that's a long trip. So we'll have to look forward to that. Things like Didcot, Bashley away on a Tuesday again, which is interesting. Obviously, that's probably one where the commentary will come in handy, probably because that is a long way to go on a Tuesday. I'm intrigued by Didcot. I think a lot of nice local ones by Yate on Bank Holiday Monday. It's a good set of fixtures. Willand and Tavistock in the same month, so not too many miles depending on who we get if we do get through in the FA Trophy, who would get in the next round after Kidlington. So yeah, intrigued, ready. This is the sign now. It was a bit late, to be honest. The fixtures usually they're a bit earlier, but I believe that it was down to the Premier League and the EFL apparently. And so we'll see. It's all here now. We're halfway through preseason, 3 games left. Fixtures coming soon, so it feels like it's only 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks, 3 weeks till the season actually starts? So feels like it's been a long time, but it's coming around so quickly.
I know some of the guys in MTC will be planning their weekends away. Feels like every other week you see a picture of them in a pub in some far-flung location. I'm really excited for the season. I'm really excited for some of the new grounds we've not been to, clubs we've not played. Didcot Exeter City played there, so that's a club that will be familiar to a lot of City fans. So yeah, I'm really excited to just get going now. It feels like it's been forever since that last Bolton game. Um, I think that's kind of everything on the fixtures. They are what they are. There'll be games rearranged and called off, as always, because of weather. It's currently summer and it's chucking it down outside. So who knows what could happen? We could have like the next ice age. Um, Information on away travel and stuff will come out in the next days, weeks. Once we have that, it'll be on the socials. We're going to do another couple podcasts as well leading up to the season. We're going to speak to Hilly, Dave, and Rolo. about what's gone on in the season, about the preseason and the signings and everything as well. That may not come out as a podcast. It may just come out as an interview.
Yeah.
Nathan has promised that he won't provoke Hilly into going off on any random tangents or saying anything silly, because I interview Hilly and everything's fine and sensible, but Nathan does it and then he just provokes him. I don't know why.
It's probably had I do it more.
I've been sat on that one. I've been sat on that insult for a little while now. But yeah, we should get into that as well. Um, On to the preseason games. We've played four, four games. We played
Great.
three, four. We played Hallen away. We won 4-2. Neither me and Nathan
Yeah,
were there at that
four,
one.
four, yeah.
It sounded like a typical early preseason game. Guys got through it, scored a lot of goals. We then played Parkway at home and lost 4-3. Didn't really tell the whole story. Thought we played incredibly well attacking wise. There was a few mistakes at the back, but it's only the second preseason game. We then played Torrington. Just want to take a second to give a shout to Torrington. They had pretty much their entire first team was unavailable. Talking to their manager or coach, Kev Weir, I think they had something like 10, 12 players unavailable. So they travelled with a mix, from what I can gather, of reserves and fringe players. But they were determined to still fulfill the fixture when quite easily they could have just called it off. So shout out to those guys as well. Showed a lot of heart, grit, didn't stop even when the game was lost. So won a lot of fans over. I think Torrington have. We then played Tiverton on Tuesday. That was hard fought 2-2 draw. Exeter City game was obviously called off. City have had a lot of players leave, as we all know, if you're a City fan, and they were playing Yeovil as well on the Friday night. City gave the club a lot of notice that that game may be pulled, and everybody, I think, it was the worst kept secret at the club. Everybody knew that it was kind of maybe not going to happen. Scott and the guys at City were great. They wrote an entire statement out. They've worked really well with the club, so no shade to City or anybody at the club at City for that. It is what it is. These things happen. We've still got 3 games. We play Clumpton on Tuesday. I think that's a 7:30 kickoff at Clumpton. We have Poole Town on Friday. I think that's a 7:30 kickoff as well, isn't it?
7:30, I think, yeah, or maybe 45. I'm just trying that one.
Check the fixture list. That's going to be a step up in quality. Poole are, no disrespect to Tivy and Parkway, Poole have got a lot of really good players, a lot of guys who were at Taunton when they were high flying in that league. That is going to be a big test for the
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. That game is a kickoff.
Yeah.
And then we finish preseason off with Budley away on the following Tuesday. Then it's into the FA Cup. What have been your thoughts so far during preseason, Nath, the games and everything?
I've been, I say, really good. We've played. Obviously, I wasn't at the Tiverton game, but I seen the highlights. Probably could have nicked that as well if you're looking at maybe chances. Could have scored. But yeah, generally, really positive. I think the new players have settled in well. I think probably the fact that a lot of them will know each other from Bridgewater has helped with that. You don't need to build completely new relationships. And you know, some of the lads that were here with them seem to have been really working well with them too. And you know, we've seen the likes of, you know, Ollie Knowles, who, you know, looks every bit of the sort of high level player that we thought he might. And again, the Bridgewater guys look good, and our players have come back and they're looking sharp as well. So it's been really encouraging. Obviously, that the young lads that have come up, and whether they be on trial or from the youth teams, they look really impressive as well. They, you know, they've sort of slotted in seamlessly when the subs get made, and you know, you're sort of usually the quality drops, but that hasn't particularly happened too much. I think, you know, we had to be a bit makeshift at times. I mean, it was Ace High and Josh Can at the back towards the end of that Torrington game. So you know, it's a bit makeshift. That's what preseason's all about. I think the players look good. You know, we're hopefully again another big test. Clumpton is sort of a tougher test on the Hallens and the Torringtons, which would be interesting. We obviously played them last year and beat them 3-1, I think, in the Devon Bowl. It was an evening game. And then Poole Town is a really interesting one. Obviously, it's a bit, if you're, for a lot of City fans or Torquay fans, you know, this Kevin Hill v Steve Tully. So, you know, two people that have done battle plenty of times on the pitch, but now they're managers, and so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. That again, that's probably the toughest test out of the Southern League games that we've got. So that's going to be pretty hard. And then Budley as well, Budley away. So that's going to be interesting. I know they've done some restructuring recently. They've been taken over, I think. So they're a club that's looking to be on the up, and we're obviously gonna give them a game. I assume that game will probably be a bit less. Not it won't be the players that probably will start on Saturday. It'll be some of the lads that maybe have joined a bit late, and need to get some extra minutes under their belt, because obviously we do have the FA Cup game on the 3rd. So I'm sure that will be an interesting one if you want to get a look at sort of the deeper squad, because there are a lot of players that want to be here this year. They want to make their mark. They want to get into the first team. So there's a big opportunity to do that in that game. And yeah, so really good. Obviously, shame about the Exeter game. I think obviously the fact that they've probably had a few more injuries than they expected to, and they've had to use obviously if anyone saw the overall result, I mean, it's 3 academy players that scored, so that they've had to use some of those players, the Santino, Hanakas, and Kieran Wilson, that probably would have played against us, have been playing first team and smashing it. So it's a bit, it's one of them ones. But I believe they said the fixture will get done at some point this season, but obviously we'll have to let you know with that one. So yeah, really, really encouraging, and it's sort of the perfect way to whet the appetite for the season, because that you're seeing the patterns of play, you're seeing how we're going about a bit more football being played, I think, which is obviously nice on the eye. We'll have to see how it translates to league games, and again, probably the Poole Town game will be a decent indicator of that, in terms of a stronger team, but every team in our league is strong, so we're going to have to be up to the task, see if we can do it. So really looking forward to that one. That's probably the last huge, like, probably be the most intense one in regards to the standard, and then yes, and then all signs point to the circular care for the 3rd of August against Street.
Yeah, I think that there was obviously discussions on the various social media groups and accounts and stuff about a lot of the signings coming in. It does feel like some of the guys have been here years, some of the newer players. A lot of them know each other either from Bridgewater or the local lads like Ollie Knowles. There's a lot of the guys already at the club, and Nelson was obviously here previously. The spirit and the banter and everything within the team kind of seems to be there. Even the new lads are kind of getting stuck in and taking the mick out of everybody and everything. Also, everybody seems to have brought in to this new style of operating. You only have to look at the end of the games. A lot of people have left where me and Nathan are kind of doing the media stuff. You can see a large number of players are doing runs up and down the pitch. Dave was there after the Tiverton game, timing them. They've played 90 minutes of football and they're all running up and down. Noticed on one of the games that there's actually like a static bike in the changing rooms now as well. So it does feel like everybody's brought into this. Even the guys that have been here years. There was discussions on the Tiverton game, how long some of the players have been here, and the landmarks of their appearances that they'll surpass this season. Some of them have been like 300-400 appearances, and even those guys are buying into this and are fully committed. So I think that is testament to those guys, because they could have just, it's not for me, I'm going to go and play elsewhere. They want to be here. All of the new guys as well want to be here. And it does feel like one big community, as we've always said. So I am really, really excited for the season. If Tom Bath could, obviously, when he goes round the keeper, could score, because I turned round, I was actually already tweeting that Tom had put us 1-0 up against Tivy, and then had to be explained by a few people that that wasn't the case. So it's right, Tom. It's only pre-season, nothing's won or lost. I'm just slotted it in against Street or somebody. That's the main thing. I think that's everything. I don't think there's anything else to say. Is the season's almost here. I am incredibly excited. I think everybody is. We're chomping at the bit for that first away game when we can have McDonald's after a win, because it's obviously McDonald's or Burger King depending on the results. Remember, buy your merch from the MTC stand table. They got mugs and stuff going on there. Swaz, the new kits I think are available to pre-order. Don't take my word for that. I think Malcolm or someone did say they've ordered their shirt already, pre-ordered it. I think that's it. Anything else to add, Nath?
Not really. No, just make sure, obviously, try and get your memberships. We want to, get as many people. It only benefits the club. It's a new way of doing it, but I think it's a good way. It's like any season ticket, it will save you money, and it's the gold membership will save you money on a lot of things. It'll make your match day probably a bit easier and a bit cheaper. So make sure it's info@exmouth-townfc.co.uk. And then yeah, I think Jeremy will take it from there, and then you'll know your price. And obviously, I say there is a discount for OAPs, but again, sorry, we can't remember what it is, but they will tell you. So you will know, and you will get slightly cheaper on the support membership if you want that. So yeah, it's a great scheme. Obviously, again, one more preseason game, two more cup games minimum. And you want to get free entry, that's your way. So yeah, it's another great thing, and hopefully, any more news, any players signings, or the coaches, which I know is being worked on, we'll have out as quick as we know it.
Yeah, there's never a dull moment at Exmouth Town Football Club, as we've said. We've had pre-season, we've had a number of players sign. We had a minor fire. Everyone was okay in the tea hut. Everyone was fine. I brought my little one to a game, and she was shouting at a lot of the players as well. Football's back. I told you this. We all told you this time last season. The brighter days are on their way. We're going to have more than 6 points before Christmas this season. I can guarantee it. Buy memberships, come down and support the lads for the pool game, and we shall see you over the coming weeks.